Depuis le rachat de MultiChoice par Canal+, le groupe est devenu le plus grand producteur de contenus originaux sur le continent africain. Nomsa Philiso est responsable des programmes et des contenus du groupe Canal+, sur les marchés anglophones et lusophones. Elle souligne l'importance de partenariats stratégiques pour amplifier la narration africaine. L'Afrique compte une population jeune et diversifiée, répartie sur 54 pays, avec plus de 3000 langues et encore plus de tribus ethniques, ce qui constitue une formidable source d'inspiration pour une narration riche. Les publics locaux veulent se voir à l'écran. Nomsa Philiso, l'une des femmes les plus influentes du monde des médias, aujourd'hui, possède une compréhension unique du continent africain. Elle explique les spécificités du marché africain en raison de ses différences et comment elle a relevé chaque défi. Nomsa Philiso, bienvenue sur Africa 24. Nomsa Philiso, en tant qu'acteur majeur du paysage médiatique, quel est votre point de vue sur cette évolution? Comment voyez-vous cette nouvelle réalité se concrétiser sur le terrain?
Thank you so much, Kenneth, for having us. Yes, it's been an interesting development in terms of the acquisition of Canal Plus, the acquisition of MultiChoice by Canal Plus. And honestly, what we're seeing here is a very intentional activation of the partnership to make sure that, you know, Africa is elevated in terms of, because what you really want to do is to be able to take our content to the world, right? I always tell people that we have so much skill, we have so much talent, but sometimes it remains within the borders. So the relationship with Canal allows us to play in that global space where distribution is going to be key for us in terms of really unlocking the new voices and making sure that our talent, and especially our youth, is really empowered and given the opportunity to go to the next level.
Nous assistons à une explosion de la production de contenu à travers le continent. Le défi consiste désormais à faire en sorte que le monde entier puisse découvrir cette créativité. Selon vous, comment peut-on aujourd'hui exploiter au mieux le potentiel des contenus africains?
One of the advantages is that Canal Plus has a very strong distribution arm called Studio Canal. So not only do they produce, but they also do distribution. So that will obviously stand us in good stead from all of our markets to say our content now has got a vehicle to be presented to the different markets throughout the world and make sure that it's discovered. Our streaming strategy is very strong. So we are going to be strengthening DSTV Stream and My Canal, the app, and to make sure that people have got alternatives, right? Not just linear, but also the availability of stream. So you will find that when you go into our streaming platforms, you will find just as much content as you would have in the other streaming, but we're just consolidating it into one platform so that it's easy to go to.
Quand on examine les défis de la production de contenu sur le continent, le piratage reste un obstacle majeur. Pour un groupe comme Canal+, comment abordez-vous cette question? Et quelle stratégie mettez-vous en œuvre pour gérer cet aspect?
You know, it's all about partnerships, right? Because every territory has got some governance framework. And we really are seeking to partner well with the government and the regulators to help us with the fight for piracy, against piracy. Because the main thing really for us is that if piracy continues the way that it is continuing, it takes away the opportunity to reinvest in content. So it's important to see it as an ecosystem, to say if the one part is starting to really be affected the way that we are seeing now, it can only mean then that we can invest in content, and that is contrary to what we're wanting to do. We want to make more content, we want to make sure that our voices are heard, we want to make sure that we go to the world, but you need sustainable business to do that.
C'est un tournant crucial de votre activité sur le continent. Canal+ dispose d'un bastion historique dans l'espace francophone, tandis que MultiChoice bénéficie d'une portée massive du programme anglophone. Comment gérez-vous cette alliance et le processus d'intégration, tant en interne qu'en externe?
And it's really been interesting and fascinating because if you think about anglophone by itself, there's already multicultural aspects, because we're really just not the same, right? Now you just added one more into the pot, and the excitement that you see about people wanting to learn about each other's culture, about each other's languages, it's really fascinating for us. And also how we have rallied behind one goal, to say we have one vision as a continent. It's really been fascinating for us to see, you know, how the teams are interacting with each other. There's more excitement than anything else. And I think that really starts to lay the foundation for what will happen externally.
En observant l'Afrique au cours de la dernière décennie, le discours sur l'intégration s'est considérablement renforcé. Il est fascinant de voir enfin cela se concrétiser dans l'industrie du contenu. Comment analysez-vous le fait que le contenu africain soit désormais perçu à travers un prisme unique plutôt que de rester fragmenté?
Absolutely. I mean, today we are here on the French Summit, but over the weekend we had the Africa Magic Choice Viewers Awards, right? And there it was so fascinating because we had nominations from everywhere, from Cameroon, from Ethiopia. We had the whole of Africa under one roof. And that's really what we're wanting to see, right? To see one voice, one platform. And yeah, we're getting there.
À moyen terme pour la marque, quelles sont les priorités sur lesquelles vous vous concentrez en matière de programmation et de contenu?
So how we're thinking about it is really to have very high impact content pieces. You would know that from a South African perspective, we've had Shaka the past 2 years, and then we had a very good collaboration with Canal before the measure called Spinners, but now we're actually taking it even wider. We're going to be doing Americana, my boss announced earlier on today, which is really an adaptation of Chimamanda's book. So we're very excited about that because that gives us another angle of the African story. We're also going to be looking at some of our icons that were outside of South Africa at some point by telling the Graceland story. We announced a movie called The Road Home. So we're really trying to make sure that no one is left behind in our storytelling.
Un point essentiel à cet égard est la vision concernant la jeunesse et l'emploi, qui est depuis longtemps au cœur de la marque MultiChoice. Comment comptez-vous poursuivre cette mission et cet engagement dans cette nouvelle structure?
Yeah, so we're very mindful of the fact that the youth is the most of our population throughout the continent, and they're active, they're intentional intervention. So you would know that MultiChoice had the MultiChoice Talent Factory, where we were really pulling through upcoming talent to make sure that the pipeline is strong. And now we're going to partner with Canal University, because they do the same thing. They do script writing, because we really need to develop at the bottom so that we can move up. So those two interventions really allow us to bring the youth in and make sure that the next generation is as skilled as they need to be.
Africa 24 vous remercie pour ce moment d'échange privilégié.